Oh, fuck. Oh God. Holy shit, guys. I'm freaking out. There's only one more game left in the season, and then it's playoffs. Let's get into it. Okay. Alright. I'm calm. We're good. FA signings and trades. Two things we missed from last week. First, Savannah. Sav. They cut John at War. They signed Major. This is a last-ditch push for the playoffs for Sav. They're trying to win here, and if they win, they win. They get the last play-in spot. We'll see how this pays off. Major's been playing all right since he got signed. He did play in Matchday 10. He's got some familiarity with the team. Moving on. Next up, Angry Pirates, AP. Shock to the league. Valid goes on IR. Crazy. Absolutely insane. Nobody saw this coming. We heard from her. She's all right. She's doing fine. She's already planning on coming back next season, and she is being replaced by AOS Arctic for the rest of the season. AOS Arctic previously played for HG earlier this season and was cut in favor of Drano, I believe. Other than that, it seems like AOS Arctic's going to do just fine. He played well in HG, and I think he'll continue to play well in AP. That is it for FA signings and trades. We'll move on to Matchday 10 recap, and then we'll get into Matchday 11 featured matchups and all of that stuff. Yeah. All right. Matchday 10 recap, baby. Here we go. Here's your results. Looking pretty good. Not a ton of close games this week, actually. Nobody having no games with both teams at double digits. It's pretty interesting. The highest score on each side was a 13-9 game. That was the closest game this week between UPS and HG. Our featured matchups for this match day were ABW ATL. We'll start with them and take a look at their stats here. OneCon and Covey carrying the crap out of this game in a 13-5 game on Inferno versus ATL. They played out of their minds. 1.48 for OneCon, 1.38 for Covey. Synthronic's not too far behind either with a 1.01. And then Notorious and Akeljo playing pretty darn well too at a 0.93 and 0.92 respectively. These guys played super well. Casts are super high. They're one of the top 3 teams going into playoffs. It's looking really good for the ABW squad. They are stonking up right now. Harpies, on the other hand, they are going to be... They started this season really hot, 4-0, but they're going to be fighting to keep their top 4 spot. If they're not careful here, if they don't win their last match day, they could end up back down in the dregs of play-ins with everybody else. They might not even be a top 4 team. What? That's ridiculous. Twisted Agony with his first game back in with ATL here, dropping 12 and 15 with a 1.0 rating, 85 ADR. He had the highest ADR on the team. Love to see that from Twisted. He was their new signing. And then, of course, Scary is back as well this week, dropping a 1.04, 13 kills. Played just fine, but couldn't really get anything going against ABW. That's all good. Shit happens. All right. Next on our list for featured matches is going to be the Sav and AP game. Let's take a look at that one here. Savannah versus AP. This was not a close game either. Ancient game, 13-5. AP takes it to get back to even. They have 5 wins now. They are guaranteed to make the play-in stage, even if they lose today. Doesn't matter. Sapphire popping off, 1.36. AOS Arctic, the new signing, popping off at a 1.24. Tim, the big one, TB1, with a 1.01 rating. That's crazy good. Lance bringing up the rear. I know he was sick this game, so no shade from him. And then, of course, Triple Man in there as well. On the Savannah side of things, it was the solo show. It was all solo. Everybody else needs to pick it up a little bit, to be honest. You're doing fine, but, 4 T rounds isn't going to cut it on Ancient. It's just not. But solo, man, with a 1.5 rating, 104 ADR, 78% cast, 1.6 impact rating. Dude, even though he only had 1 utility damage, the dude was putting the whole team on his back. Good for him. If they can keep it up in their last game here, they can still make playoffs, but they do need to win. They need to win here. If they lose versus Deadbeats this week, it's donezo. It's over. You're out of the running. This is just how it goes. I'm sorry, but we can only have 12 teams making playoffs, and this season is extremely competitive. So we'll see how it goes. That is it for our match day 10 results. If we take a look here, another notable result actually for Matchday 10 that I want to talk about really quickly is the FRG versus Deadbeats game. Deadbeats just had to make this interesting for us by beating FRG. If they had lost FRG here, they would be out of playoff contention. But now they're in a position where if they win the last play-in spot. They play Savannah this week. So they beat Tadpole Titans 7-13 on Ancient, with Joe coming back and dropping a 1.48 rating. Absolutely insane. FRG has already clinched play-ins, so they don't have to worry. But Deadbeats coming in, clutching up, showing us why they made it to playoffs last season, right? These guys are going to be great. The matchup for them versus Sav is coming up next week, and we are coming up in Matchday 11, mind you, on Tuesday, and we are going to go get into the Matchday 11 matchups right now. All right, guys, here's your Matchday 11 matchups. I'll be honest, not a lot of these matchups matter all that much. There's a lot of teams right now that are 5-5 that are just going to be in play-ins no matter what, but there are a few games that do matter. For the record, our featured matches were going to be ATL AVI and NAN FRG. And actually, we're still going to talk about these matchups because they actually come into effect for the top 4 contention for people to get buys. Let's see here. I believe ATL is in a position where they need to win in order to clinch that buy. And if they don't win... So at the moment, your top 4 teams right now, as it sits, are in this order: Goshi at 9-1, ABW at 8-2, ATL at 6-4, UPS at 6-4, followed closely by Nadestack, also at 6-4. But Nadestack lost a tiebreaker to Harpies, and they also lost the round differential tiebreaker to UPS. So currently, UPS is your number 4 team in standings on CSC, as far as CSC is concerned. This is going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. UPS this match day will play Wet, so it's likely that they win that game. We have seen them fumble before, but if all goes well, they will win that game. NAN has to play FRG, a much tougher opponent, but is FRG going to take it easy this week, knowing that they already have play-ins locked in, or are they going to go for a higher seed? I believe that they're going to go for a higher seed. I don't think they're going to be chilling this week or anything like that. ATL definitely cannot afford to chill this week. They need to win. They need to win if they want to have a bye. They need to, because if they don't, then NAN can actually swoop in and take this from them by just simply having a better record. You got to remember, ATL, UPS, and NAN are all vying for that last spot, and on top of that, ATL plays AVI. So AVI, if they win, and then on top of that, if AVI wins, if ATL, that means ATL will lose. That also means that NAN and UPS could lose, and AVI could be in the top 4 spot. It's all crazy, man. It's all crazy in that top 4 spot. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Going down to the bottom of the barrel here, we have the battle for the last playoff spot right now. Deadbeats play Sav on Tuesday. This is going to be a really interesting matchup because this is for the final play-in spot. Everybody else has 5 wins or has been eliminated from playoff contention. Hellfire was eliminated this week. ACA, they may have gotten their second win against Wet, but they are also out of the playoff contention. And by beating Wet, they took Wet out of playoff contention. So Wet, Hell, and ACA are all out. Sav and Riff Raiders are still on the bubble. Everybody else is in, presumably, and can no longer lose out. But Deadbeats versus Sav, right? It's going to be a crazy matchup here. We basically have the battle between if UK and Solo and their new signing Major can figure things out here and make it work, or can Deadbeats make things happen, right? Can Rymaster pop off and drop a 2.0 rating again? Can Joe come back and drop a 1.5? All of these guys can frag, right? We just have to figure out what the heck is going to happen here, and just see how it goes. This will really probably come down to a map pick, and from there we'll just have to wait and see. But this Sav Deadbeats game is going to be really interesting. Really looking forward to see it. And that is it for our Match Day 11, the final match day of the season. All right, guys. After Matchday 11, it's just playoffs. And they're coming up this week, believe it or not. We're starting with the play-in stage where the 5 through 12 teams will play each other for the last few spots in the playoffs. Obviously, 5 will play 12, 6 will play 11, and so on, all the way down until we get to 8 playing 9. And then the winners of those games will go on to the quarterfinals and play the top 4 teams who have a bye. Like I just said, we are going to have a huge fight to see who can get into these last play-in spot between DB and Sav, as well as the last top 4 spot between like literally 8 teams. It's ridiculous. You can, if you have a 5-5 record, you've got a chance to make it in to that top 4 spot, which is really exciting for a lot of teams. So yeah, playoffs are going to be really fun. I plan on doing an episode for the quarters and semis next week. Yeah, I believe everything's going to be a BO3, actually. I did hear this recently. So I believe play-ins and playoffs are both BO3s. This is news to me, so I guess we'll find out, won't we? Good luck to everybody who's in playoffs. Good luck to the top 4, as well as the bottom, 9, I guess it is. 5 through 12. Everybody, good luck. Hopefully you can make it in. Yeah, good luck. That's all I have for you about playoffs. All right, guys. That's the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for having me this season. Thank you for, watching the show, coming down, taking a peek every week when we do these. Best of luck to all the teams that are, vying for that top 4 spot. It could literally be anyone with the 5-5 record. There's the potential for all 9 of the teams to get it. If you have a 5-5 record right now, you could technically end up 6-4 and make 6-5 and make the final spot for the top 4. That'd be pretty crazy. Good luck to DB and good luck to Sav in their bout for the last playoff spot. And I hope everyone had a lovely 4th of July. I know I did. Thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you on the next episode of The State of Recruit. I have been Seagull. Goodbye.